What's up guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video I will be going through who I start at each position. I know it's been a long time since I posted a video and I just haven't had anything to really post about. This is year 4 I believe of my online league dynasty that I'm in. So let's just get right into it. I don't want to waste any time. But first position here we have quarterback, and you really want to start juniors, seniors, just because when they're older, they're gonna have more, I don't really know, composure. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, the main attributes I'm looking for at quarterback. A lot of people look for speed. I don't. That's not my number one option. I definitely want to be able to scramble, so I'll never put this kicker or punter at quarterback. With that 73 speed, I need a little bit more than that. 80 speed, 82 speed, that's fine with me, and I'll run it. My most important one is throw power. I like it in the 90s. If it's under 90, you really don't start on my team. And accuracies, 85, 82. I don't really throw the ball deep that much, so these are perfect for me. And then a good break, sack, and play action is good for me as well. So I like this, and my quarterback is really good for me. I'm gonna have a good year. This quarterback. Moving on to halfbacks now, and halfback is a different position. There's two different stats. There's different types. There's power back, and then there's elusive back. It's agility here, change of direction, really important. Change of direction is probably number one stat. Acceleration's number 2. 95 change of direction on my starter is really good. 99 agility is also really good. So these guys will start for me. I'm gonna have a 2-back system this year with Kyle McNeil and Alex Wilbur. Wilbur was actually my last year quarterback. I decided to move him over. Kyle McNeil isn't really your power back at all. 34 trucking and 39 stiff arm, but that's why I have Alex Wilbur. He's not much better, but he can definitely break a tackle or two. Fullback is an interesting position. You can have many different types of fullbacks, right? You can have a secondary running back, right? You can have a power back that you're gonna have. It's gonna give you your 2 yards that you need, your third and shorts. You can have an extra tight end practically, or you can have an offensive lineman, and any one of those are viable, right? Any one of those you can put there and have fun and be able to have success. But you gotta know what you put there, and you gotta know how you're gonna utilize him. If you have more of a runner, you can run the ball with him. You can get that 1 yard. And if you have an offensive lineman, if you moved an offensive lineman from there, like a Patrick Ricard, you can really get that one last yard. You know what I mean? If I have one thing to say though, if you're gonna move an offensive lineman, make sure he has at least 72 speed, right? 71 speed, 72 speed, right? You want to make sure this guy has enough speed to get to the second level, right? You don't want to. Your fullback's gonna be useless if he's gonna be stuck at the first level when your halfback's already zooming past him. So you want to make sure he has some speed. Amari Draft, I'm pretty sure was at running back. And then he was a running back, and then I moved him over to fullback, and he's been progressing his blocking stats. So I personally like a guy that can get me that extra yard or two. Wide receivers. So a lot of stats matter for wide receivers, and as you can see for me, it's speed. Speed isn't everything. Speed kills for sure. Speed isn't everything. Catching is a very important stat. Right, and height and catching. You want to make sure you have, as you can see here, Kurt Haas but height plays a big factor at wide receiver, and making sure you can catch the ball. Like 76 is about the baseline of where I'll be able, like if you're starting or not. Anything under 76, I don't really want to start out there because I want to make sure I want to guarantee that he can catch the ball. Speed kills in this game, but as I said before, it's not everything, and if you don't have speed, that's fine. Last year I ran with Juju Lewis and Lubia Maurice Jr., and they were my 2 starting receivers. But as you can see here, Louis Maurice Jr. and Juju Lewis were my two receivers last year. And they're not fast. They're my red zone guys, as you can see. They have all my touchdowns, and I'll go into that later. But as you can, speed isn't everything, right? If you don't have speed, make sure. And the thing with them, they had insane route running, right? They have good route running, and they have good catching. They're alright catching, and 94 short, 98 or 83 medium, and 85 deep, and then kind of similar to this guy, right? And he can get off the line quick, right, with that 99 release, right? These guys are my guys. These guys were the guys that I enjoyed, and I moved them over to tight end because I feel like there'd be a better mismatch at tight end than at wide receiver, and I had too many wide receivers, too many good wide receivers to start, and so I decided to move them over. But as you can see, speed and route run, or catching and route running, is your two stats that you really need. Next, I want to go into tight ends, and I kind of went over it in the last category. Having that 85 plus speed really helps. If you can have a tight end that's over 85 speed, you can definitely create mismatches for sure. You'll create a bunch of mismatches because you'll have to put a strong safety at him. Because if you put that middle linebacker on him, or the outside linebacker, you're probably gonna beat him. Catching's a really important stat for tight ends. These are your sure hand guys. These are guys that you're gonna throw the ball to, and you're gonna expect them to come down with it, right? So catching is a really important stat. 80, 83 is a little low, but it's fine. It's doable. I like this in the more 85s when I'm talking catching. Short route running is very important for tight ends because that's what they're going to be on. They're going to be on shorter routes. They're not really going to be on deep routes. But medium route running is wanting that high too is really good. So short and medium route running is really good. My secondary, I want a good run blocking tight end, right? I want a tight end that can block, right? Get the outside, and I know I'll be fine over there. But I do like one tight end. My second tight end normally will be slower, more of a run blocker. My first tight end will be more of my pass catcher. And as you can see, this was my tight end last year, Lewis Ritter. He had 82 run blocking, and he had great short route running, good catching, and then of course he had some speed on him. An offensive line, I'm gonna kind of sort of categorize it. Tackles, I'm looking at acceleration and agility, right? And strength, agility, and acceleration. These are really important stats. And of course, pass blocking, talking about the edges. I don't really mind run blocking that much. I don't care if you can't run block. I do like this above 76 though, so this has got the cutoff really for me. But being able to run block on the outside is really good. Pass block is what I really like on the outside edges, and being able to really get on the edge and set the edge to help the pocket is really good. And so that's why I have Dan Horn starting here. And go to the other tackle spot. I got speed here, speed, acceleration, and agility. I got some good strength. Strength is by far #1 stat on the offensive line as a whole. I got pass blocking, good pass blocking, good run block here. And yeah, that's really all I go for. Tackles, agility, acceleration, strength. Guards, okay, guards is a little different. It's really dependent on how you run your scheme. If you're gonna run a power run system, so like where all your guys are one-on-one, not really pulling that often, you want powers, right? You want both guys having high strength, right? However, I like to run a pulling system where a lot of my offensive linemen are moving, right? They're pulling, they're kicking, whatever it's called, they're moving. And so what I do personally is I have one guy as a strength guy. I have one guy that's gonna be able to hold you, like make sure I hold that side, and keep him. I'm good at running the ball over there, right? And then my other guard position is the guy that's going to be kicking out, right? 70 acceleration, 70 speed, 80 acceleration, 81 agility. Right, this is the guy, and then I'm pretty sure he has some pretty good impact block. Okay, he doesn't have that great of impact block, but you know, he can definitely hit somebody in the second level for sure. So this is the guy that's going to be my run, or my gonna go field and get to my second level. And then my left guard is my power guy, who's going to be able to go one-on-one. Center's a very versatile position. Again, in my system, centers don't really remove much in my system. They'll get to the second level here and there, so a little bit of agility will be good. And strength would be good. I wish this was in the 90s. I wish all across the board my strength was in the 90s. That's what I look for. But being able to hold a one-on-one is really important for centers. In pass block, their pass block doesn't really matter, because in pass coverage, or pass blocking, they'll normally be on a double team. But in run blocking, they won't be. So I like it a little bit better of a run block than pass block on centers. It's fine though. And these guys are definitely going to be undersized for sure. You can see 6'3", 273. All my guys I like to be above. You know, I like my tackles. I don't really know if this plays a big difference. I haven't tested this. Having a 6'5" plus tackle is good. Having 300 pounds plus guard is good. And then whoever doesn't fit those other categories just goes to center for me personally. Edge rushers, right? So this is your edge rushers, your left end, your right ends, left outside linebackers, right outside linebackers, right? Depends if, you know, 3-4 outside linebackers or 4-3 left end or any defensive ends, right? These are just your edge rushers. Me personally, quick jump is an insane ability, and I'll start anybody who has Hall of Fame quick jump over anybody else. And we got Hall of Fame quick jump. You know, this guy's really good. This guy has really good moves in general. So I'm able to. But quick jump is my number one ability. If I see in the transfer portal somebody has quick jump, I'll be recruiting them instantly. But acceleration, agility, strength, and of course power moves, finesse moves play a big role. I'm not really too keen on block shedding. I don't really care. My edge rushers don't have much block shedding. Tackle is a good stat too. You know, having this a little bit high to be able to make sure you get the sack is nice. Same thing with right end. As you can see, I got that speed, acceleration, agility, strength, power move, finesse move, gold quick jump, and alright tackling. It's all that matters for me. As you guys started him over Jermaine Carter. Testing something out here. I'm probably gonna move him to defensive tackle, but I'm not sure. Defensive tackle, as I said, these are my guys who I want strong, big, right, and can block, run block, right. These are the guys that I want in the backfield on runs. These guys don't have to have good power moves, finesse moves, but these guys have to have good strength and good block shedding. That's literally the only two things, maybe tackling. Block shedding, strength, and tackling. Those are the only three that I care about. Okay, and linebackers. I'm gonna kind of categorize this. For me, it's kind of all the same for each position. I like speed. Of course, speed, play rec, tackling, and block shedding. Right, and maybe pursuit here too. Those are my things that I like. I like those. Making sure those are nice all around. As you can see, got some speed at middle linebacker, but speed, awareness, play rec, tackling, and block shedding. Right, those are it. Change of direction is really good here too. Actually, change of direction, having a high change of direction is really important to be able to use your cornerback here. Is, I'm not gonna lie, all speed. Right, you want all speed. Agility, having that good agility is good. I don't really have that many with good agility, but with how user offenses are being ran, you want to be able to make sure you can keep up. Man zone coverage, if it should be good, right? You want to make sure these are somewhat good, but really speed is all that's really important. Play rec's good too, but speed and pursuit maybe, like, there's really not. It's just speed, really. That's all you really need. Speed, play rec. So the only things you want. Safeties. Free safeties, I like zone coverage. Basically just zone corners is what I like. Maybe slower, good awareness, play rec, and able to tackle. Like able able to make a tackle. Doesn't have to be a good tackle, but make one. And good pursuit. Make sure you have good pursuit on your safety. Strong safety, however. Strong safety is your guy that's going to make some hits, right? Make some hits. Going to guard your tight ends here and there. Blitzing here and there. You know, lining up in the box sometimes. So this guy, I don't really have him that fast. He's 86 speed, and that's fine with me. A lot of people won't like that, but I don't care. That's fine with me. 89 play rec's good. Having good zone coverage again. Able to tackle, make really good tackling plays. 86 tackle, pursuit, that's really good. And then block shedding, 68 block shedding is pretty good at a safety spot. But that's what matters for me. So block shedding, pursuit, tackling, zone coverage, play rec, and that's all that matters. Kicker, punter, all that matters for me is kick power. Same thing with punter, kick power. Kick returner is speed. I'm gonna make sure you have speed, right? That's all that matters for me. I have my 5 fastest guys here, and of course change of direction is really good here. So I might even. One thing I have to say about this is try not to make this your starter. If you have like a 99 speed, 99 all, then I would run it. But outside of that, don't make your starter your kicker, punt returner. They get tired really fast. But that's all that matters, really. Speed is all that matters. You're not really gonna make a move on kick return. Punt return, however, is speed. You definitely want some speed in there, for sure. You want some speed in there. But change of direction is really important. And juke moves, spin moves, really important. So it happens to be that the same guy is for both. So a lot of times they won't be the same guy, but for me it is. So kick returner and punt returner are the same guys. Addy Polanco. And he is my 3rd string wide receiver, I believe. No, it's my 4th string. So this kind of goes with what I said. Try not to make him your starter. But kickoff specialist, straight power. That's all I care about. Long snapper. Make this your backups. Try to make this your guys that won't ever touch the field. Like your offensive linemen that won't ever touch the field, or even tight ends. If you have too many tight ends, put a random tight end over there. Like this guy doesn't start. I might even put him there. Actually, yeah, I'll do that. I'll put him there because he's never going to touch the field. And this doesn't really matter. There's not really much stats here. Maybe speed. You want a little bit of speed because he's gonna be the one in the middle trying to make the tackle. So maybe a little speed here and there. But it's outside of that. I really think long snapper is too important. Just don't make this one of your starting linemen because it'll mess up the field goal specialist and the punt return, or not punt return, but it will mess up the field goal specialist for sure. 3rd down running back, you want this guy to be able to catch the ball in the backfield. So like 65 catching is fine, 70 catching is fine. Make sure he's a little fast. He has some change of direction and some speed, and he can make some moves in the open field. So juke and spin move. That's all that really matters. Power back, you want this guy to have high break tackling, high trucking here and there, high stiff arm. That's all I really need. Slot receivers, so mine's gonna look a little different. Mine's different because of how I run my offense. These guys don't have to be fast. These guys are actually normally your slowest guys. You really want to make sure they have good catching and they can make a move in the open field. Right, so if we look at him, he can make a move in the open field. That's perfect enough for a wide receiver to make a move in the open field. Cal McNeil, I'm going to have him in my secondary slot just in case the Juju gets tired. You want to make sure these guys have very, very good route running. Even if it's your best receiver, put him in your slot. You know, a lot of people have their best slot receivers, or best receivers at the slot. Like the Rams have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, both their best 2 receivers. And they have them as their slots. Alright, rushing left end and rushing right end. These are, so what I like to do and what I think everybody should do. So you have left end here, right? You have your actual left and right end here. As you can see, if I go to left, or if I go to right end, and I'm on rushing left end, but if I go to right end, you can see that it's the exact same. So what I do is I flip it, right? So my rushing left end will be all my right ends. Same thing with the other side. All my rushing right ends will be all my actual left ends. Right? The only reason that Victor Evans is in there right now as a left end is because I transferred him over to right end in the actual depth chart. But in actual in the depth in the roster he's a left end, but in the depth chart he's a right end. If that makes sense. So what this does is it gives the players a fresh reset. I don't know if you've seen, but if you're using defensive line, which I know not a lot of people don't do it nowadays, but if you're using D line, you can see the 5, 3, the 4 bars that are on the bottom that are underneath offensive linemen, and those are resistance bars. And the more of those you have, the harder it's going to rush. And if you reset those, so if you move to the other line, not only is it going to make it a lot harder to get more resistance because you're not going to be on them as much, but you're going to be able to get a fresh start. And so where you use rushing left ends or rushing right ends is in nickels, dimes, whatever. The only time you use your actual left and right ends is when is in 3-4s, 4-3s, and 5-2s. I'm pretty sure that's it. Maybe 3-5s. I don't know though. I'm not too sure. But that's what I do with my left end, right end situation. Rushing defensive tackle. A lot of times I don't make this my actual defensive tackle. I want to make this. Definitely want to make sure my first guy. I want him to have a little speed. He doesn't need to be the fastest guy by all means. 72 speeds. That's plenty for a rushing defensive tackle. I want him to be able to make a move though and I want him to be able to get in the backfield. And I also want him to have at least 80 block shitting. I want him to at least be able to get in the backfield. My second guy is my actual defensive tackle. Yeah, my actual guy who can get in the backfield and wreak havoc and have some strength, right? And with the second guy will be on top of the center. I'm pretty sure he's your nose tackle. So he will be as interior as you can get. This guy will be a little offset, like on your guards. This guy will be on top of your center, or in the one gap. Sub linebackers, what you can do here, I don't really do it, but what you can do here is put a strong safety, or put a safety in sub linebacker, and you can get better animations and everything. I don't really do that. I like my linebackers how they are. So here you want speed because this guy's going to be covering the entire middle of the field. Play rec, tackling, right? That's all you really need. Slot corner, I don't really know what I do with slot corner. I just kind of make him. I want him to have good play rec and good tackling. That's all I really care about. And catching, play rec, and tackling. Right? Those are able, to cover up, obviously. But catching, tackling, and play rec, right? These are you guys closest to the ball, so I want him to be able to tackle the ball carrier. And that's it. That's all I got. I know the video's a little long. I'm trying to trim it up and so yeah. That's all I got for today's video. And yeah. Have a good day, everybody, and good night.